What's up, y'all? It's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous, and I'm back with another installment of Dangerous Minds. Today's episode, I got a special guest, the host and the founder of NoFluffTV, the Peeve. Man, what's
Yeah.
good, brother?
What up, man? What up, y'all? How y'all?
Yo, like before we get started, before we get into everything, go ahead and let everybody know where they can follow you at.
Well, as far as No Fluff TV, man, just No Fluff TV everywhere. On Instagram, I think Twitter, Facebook, all that. My personal page is M_V_P82. So man, y'all
Okay.
follow, you know what I'm saying? Just got a new interview that just dropped at 6 o'clock. So yeah, man, check us out.
Yo, man, you've been working at this for a minute, man. Like I really enjoy your interviews, especially we did one recently,
Right?
after the album drop. Man, that was probably one of my favorite interviews that I've ever done, just
Wow.
because it was
Wow.
fun. It was just like
Yeah.
it was like normal conversation. We talked about hip hop. You hit me with some out of left field questions that I
Right.
wasn't
Right.
prepared for, but we still roll with it, and it was fun, man. So how
Right.
does it
Right.
feel being on the other end, like being interviewed?
I mean, I like it, man. Yeah, I like it. I like as much as I like asking questions, kind of seeing how people think, seeing what their response is gonna be. I think I like being on the other side because it's a challenge as well.
Hmm.
Because I have to be opinionated and sometimes I have very different viewpoints than everyone else. So I enjoyed as well, man. So like, I just appreciate you, considering, having me on. So yeah.
Oh, no doubt, man. It's dope because we were talking with Bash, like we before we do the podcast. Now we just do these conference calls and kind of
Hmm.
get to know people, kind of going into it. And we talked about how it's kind of dope that you don't really hear. Oh, well, it's not dope, but it's like it's that you don't really get to hear from the people who do the interview behind the shows, who talk to the
Mm,
artists. So
right,
the dope part is the fact that we get to kind of get a little bit of your story and try to figure
right,
out like how everything got started. So
right.
kind of take me on the journey. How did you get to this point where you are now with No Fluff TV and running the YouTube channel? Because I know it's been up for a while, and I know you've been doing other stuff that
Right.
led up to this point. So kind of like walk us through that.
Well, as far as man, having a channel, it's really just a story of um basically wanting to do something and just like, all right, I'm just go ahead. So basically, I wanted to around I want to say 2013, 14. I wanted to do a podcast with some guys I knew, and because I was just watching how we just interacted when we were together, kind of like
Hmm.
the dynamic we had. Like you had one guy who was like super serious. I was the one that's like edgy, funny, and then we had like an in between kind of person. And
Hmm.
so I was like, man, we should do a podcast, like a podcast. And we tried once, and but they weren't, I guess, when you don't really know, and maybe that's not your goal, I guess,
Hmm.
and so when no one really committed to it, and so
Yeah, they wasn't as serious about it as you
right,
were. Yeah.
and so basically, I was just watching time go by, and all these podcasts popping up, and I'm just like, man, I just feel like I wanted to do this because even going back further, like I wanted to be on the radio, when I was
Hmm.
little. So, it's kind of like the same type of thing. And so time was passing, and I was like, you know what? I need to do something myself. And I had already bought a camera for taking pictures. So, I was starting to take pictures um, of different stuff. And I was like, I'll just use my camera. So that's basically how it happened. Like, I was like, forget waiting on everyone else because if I keep
Hmm.
waiting, I'm just gonna the time just gonna go by, and so just basically go ahead and start it and just do something. And so I
Yeah,
was able to go ahead and do it.
yeah, I definitely feel you on that. That's kind of how this show started. Like it
Right.
started with it's supposed to be me and my brothers, and they
Uh-huh.
did literally one episode with me, and then I
Mm,
couldn't really get everybody back together to do it, but I wanted to make it a
yeah.
consistent thing, so it
Right.
just ended up being me. Like when it comes, so originally, I know that it was in a podcast format. So, well, what did you guys talk about? Like, how did you guys? What was kind of like the main subject, or was it just kind of a little bit of everything?
It was just gonna be a range. Like
Mhm.
um most of the guys were like Christian guys. So like it was just everything from that standpoint or that viewpoint
Oh
made
wow.
made. And so and that's why I thought it was gonna be good because it gives you the point of view from a young, I guess, Christian standpoint.
Hmm.
But in my mind, it would appeal to everybody because I'm the one that's like so left field.
Ah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the one
Yeah.
that's kind of like I'm gonna say what y'all thinking about saying. You know what I'm saying? So that type of thing. And so um it was just gonna be everything, man. I because I'm not so much of a planner. I'm
Hmm.
kind of like just let's roll with it. I got the idea, let's roll with it. We can help build, but yeah, it wasn't anything specific. So
Oh, okay. So, do you think because it was kind of like a Christian versus this kind of left field, uh, kind of like left field stance, like you think that might have been what kind of caused the issue with, I guess,
no,
is continuing the
no,
show? Okay.
no. I don't think that was. I don't think so.
Sometimes people could get, depending on how I haven't watched any of the kind of like the older stuff. I've been watching more of like more recent interviews. I didn't know if maybe
Right.
somebody might have been maybe like some friction there just because sometimes, people, especially when it comes to, people that are a little bit more rigid with, in their religious stance and stuff like that.
Right.
Sometimes, it could cause some friction there.
No, 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 no. Like my I try to have balance on my channel though. Like
Hmm.
different viewpoints, different people from different backgrounds. So like even like so it's not all interviews. Sometimes it's conversations and
Hmm.
conversations more like the podcast type thing. But I don't call it podcast. You know what I mean? Like some
Hmm.
people go around calling their show or whatever a podcast, but it's not a podcast because um it's not audio. Like
Okay.
it's a show. It's whatever you want to call it, it's a show. Or you just do interviews, and so that's what I just call it, conversations with a P. So yeah,
Oh, dope, man. So I know that because you caught me off guard with a few of the questions that we talked about in our interview, and I remember we spoke about it before. Like some people might get a little, well, it got a little sensitive, when
yeah,
it
yeah,
came
yeah,
to some of the things you asked, or like
yeah.
just being honest with them. I know you said you did like music reviews at one point, and you kind of had
Right,
to stop that because it was causing some friction there. Like, I
yeah.
guess what's the most friction I guess you could say you had between you and like somebody you invited on the show or try to do an interview with or something like that.
I can't think of anyone specific. I'll say that so one thing about me, I notice how people are and how they can be, and so like I choose based on that. And so like what I try to get the artist to understand is you can't come up to an interview and being sensitive. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you something that you might not feel comfortable answering.
Hmm.
But in my mind, that's how you're preparing yourself. Like, okay, this is like No Fluff TV, man. Like, I'm a smaller platform right now,
Hmm.
but if you go to the Breakfast Club, they're gonna ask you everything anyway.
Yeah. Especially
So
Charlemagne, if he really want to
right,
mess with you, he gonna bring out all the
right. And so they're gonna, they're gonna have that research and stuff done on you. So like, I just notice it sometimes when I'm talking with people, um, they are a little sensitive to, they don't want to be asked certain things or whatever, or
Mhm.
maybe they're just not, a lot of artists they're new, they don't really know how to interview, they don't know how to bounce around questions the right way, and so
Mhm.
I can kind of pick that up, within them. So like, once I start picking that up, I started asking or mentioning that before the interviews, man, just to kind of prepare people, like to have fun, relax. If I ask you something, it really just may be out of fun.
Mhm.
Um, not to, offend you or anything like that. It's just, um, you know, you have to be entertaining
Yeah.
during the interview, because no one just want to sit and watch you talk the whole time about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, really,
Yeah.
if you are a local artist right now, no one wants to just sit and watch you answer the same normal question. So tell me about your album.
Oh, how was it growing up? Or
Yeah, like, like,
what are
yeah,
your goals? It's just
right.
say,
Maybe you don't. I don't think you're that interesting. Especially right now. And so the only way I'm gonna get some type of something I feel for people to want to watch or to interest them, I'm gonna have to ask some out of bound left field questions sometimes.
oh yeah.
So yeah,
Well, yeah, your style definitely works, and like a lot of artists, like you're saying, it's just gonna be moments where not even just with interviews, but just in general, people are gonna be pressing your buttons
right,
to get at you. It's gonna be there's thousands of people on the internet, millions of people on the internet, and
right,
there are some of them that's just not gonna like you, and they're gonna
right,
want to get at you, whether it's at your concerts, whether it's online, whether it's
right,
even professionals that try to get at you through these interviews. You got to just be figure out how to roll with the punches.
right. Yep.
So I was gonna ask you this because I know you're a big hip hop like student of the game. Just that was one of the things I liked about your interviews and stuff, especially with other rappers, is
Hmm.
that you really try to test their knowledge on hip hop. Like you even did the counter, kind of like we just asked me 5 questions and you had a time limit. Like
Right,
I thought that was dope. It definitely had me on my feet. So
right.
what would you say would probably be like your biggest pet peeve that or something that irritates you about hip hop right now? Like something that you see, whether it's on the independent scene or just like in the industry in general, like what is something that just really irritates you that's happening now?
um, you know, it's not too much really I can think
Hmm.
of right now. I think I do hate the fact that so many people want to rap. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so I used to rap, right? Like, I
Hmm.
really like. See, that's the thing. If you really love something, you try to do it at some point.
Hmm.
And so, like, I really wanted to rap, man. So, like, when I was younger, when I was in high school, I was scared to rap. Even though I wanted to, I
Hmm.
just felt like, man, you can't really do this unless you're coming proper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like now, um, the game has changed where everybody feel like they can do it just because.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll even say I even look at my generation and say, there was a beginning of that when cannabis came in the game. Because when cannabis came, the way he was doing uh his punchlines and stuff,
Hmm.
I was like, oh, I can say something crazy too. You know what I'm saying? So like that, that kind of pushed us to like, okay, well, let me try this out. But even when we did that, it was still had to be to a better or higher degree.
Yeah, there
You
was a
know what I'm saying?
standard there. Like
Right. It was a
standard you
standard.
had to
Right. And I feel like there is no standard. It's like now you can meet somebody who's like, yeah, I ain't never wanted to rap. I just started rapping 6 months ago. It's like,
Oh man.
yo, this crazy, bro. Like everybody just feel like, yeah, I can rap now. Just like everyone feel like, oh, yeah, I can make beats, or I'm a producer. I'm like, bro, you're not really all right. If you say you producer, okay, but you know what I'm saying. It's really no standard, and it's almost kind of like everyone's just it's okay now. Stuff comes to me. I'm sorry. Like everyone's afraid to speak up. Everyone's
Oh
afraid
yeah.
to be honest. Like man, you can say something is whack and not be hating, bro. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like um people they want to get into they want to be a rapper, but they don't know no history. That's why, like
Yeah.
I said, that's one of the reasons why I did it. It's like you don't know
You don't know
one
how it got
beyond.
started. You don't
Right,
know like that it started with the DJ before the rapper. It
right,
started, you don't know where it started. It's just the fact that you just heard it on the radio and you think, because I feel like it's easy now. But I mean,
mm,
people feel like it's easy, like they can
right,
just jump into it. It's because I mean, for one, it's the technology is a lot easier to get to. You
right,
don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars in the
right,
studio for studio time. Now
right.
you can buy cheap mics and download free software and
You
just
can get a mic off of Wish, man,
right.
for 13 cents.
Oh man, I saw somebody hit me up and asked me was that a good mic to get, and I said nah. Like if you serious about it,
Right,
like if you just playing around, go ahead. But nah,
right,
not a good. But like they were trying to do it for podcasts. I even told them for that. That's just not a good mic to get.
right.
But yeah, like I that's a big pet peeve of mine is that
Okay.
the fact that people don't speak up, like you can't be honest. Like I remember a few months ago, Sweetie had like this terrible performance at like the Thriller. It's like Triller is my bad, not
Thriller.
Thriller.
Okay.
Triller. I think it was one of the boxing events that they put together,
Mm,
and people were talking about how bad it was. But it was the fact that like people were pointing out how bad it was, and they will get like people try to call it like they were bullying her. Or they were
mm,
trying to say that y'all are, I mean, there's some people probably took it a little too far,
right,
probably saying some stuff that was just kind of outlandish. But for the most part, people were just pointing out, yo, this shit was whack.
right,
The
right,
shit was
right.
whack. And like I hated that everybody's response was she's working on it. Like she's,
Yeah.
don't be mean to her. And I'm like, yo, this is hip hop. This is hip
Right.
hop, niggas. Like I remember Karis one. Damn, now I think who was it? Was it Houdini? I'm trying to think who he threw off the stage. It was
PM Dawn.
PM Dawn. He threw PM Dawn off the stage. He thought it was whack. Like that's hip
Right,
hop. That's the
right,
legacy. Now it's
right,
like yo, somebody gives a terrible performance on Triller
right, right,
on national television,
right,
and I'm supposed to just be like, okay, give her like the okay, the pat on the
right,
back. Like she'll come back and she'll do it better later. Like, nah, I'm not making no excuses. Yo, you suck.
right,
You sucked. Everybody,
right,
you just do better next time.
right, right, right. Yeah, man. I don't know. This generation is very sensitive.
Hmm.
Now it's like everything gets stop shaming. Like don't shame this and don't shame that. It's like, or at least they getting money now. They doing stuff for their family. It's like, no, man. This game it's supposed to have some type of standard, and if you don't live up to it, then you can get this for it. You can, what I mean,
Yeah,
like someone's gonna say something, and so,
it's supposed to make you better. Like I feel
yeah,
like something like that would like if I had a bad performance, if things was bad, like somebody come to me and go, yo, that shit was whack. I go back and be like, you know what? If it was whack, it was whack. If it's not, then fuck them.
right,
Like if I
yeah,
go back and look at the footage and go, you know what? Yeah, that was pretty whack. I need to work on that. Or it's
right,
like, yo, I killed it. Everybody's rocking with me. Like everybody was jumping. You just the one nigga hating. Then fuck them.
right, right,
You just got to figure out how to decipher between the two. It's not about my feelings all the
right,
time.
right.
But I also wanted to ask you. So you thought cannabis was whack?
No,
That's just the way you
No,
said it in that story. Like he was like, oh,
no, I was saying more so like the when he's the one I felt like that really started saying stuff that was kind
like
of
he was
like
saying like outlandish.
outlandish.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so it just made you feel like, man, maybe I could do that because
Okay.
now I can use. And it's like it almost like went. I don't have to be as intelligent
Mm-hmm.
to maybe I can be intelligent, but now I can use creativity.
Yeah.
Maybe if that like walk across the sun with the sun with what he say I don't know.
Damn.
I can't
What
think of
song is that? I was think about it.
I'm trying to
I
think
need to throw
about
cannabis back in. I ain't heard him in a minute.
yeah, man, uh like all right, for an example, right? This is one of my favorite joints. I speak your frequencies, dogs will have trouble hearing. Cannabis is a lyrical version of German engineering. Raw metaphors keep you high for months, fly around the earth twice without refueling once. Ain't too many categories I can fit in when it comes to spitting, cause I'm overqualified for the positions. The laser guide and lyrical hybrid, creating scripts so sick, I got to arm wrestle my pen to write it. It's like, yo,
Yo,
it's like,
yeah, like cannabis is a beast, man. That's dope.
yeah, yeah.
Yo, so you're more into like the outlandish kind of like the real creative type of MCs, where it's like you could just really go, just try to like figure out a new way to say something that nobody else has said before.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I like a range, man. Honestly,
Okay.
like it doesn't really have to be complicated, but I just like uh the first thing is first. The if you're known
Mm-hmm.
for me, if you're known for rapping good, then you can be over a whack beat. If I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
you as an artist, you gotta have the beat first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
because I guess you could say that because people always say Nas had whack beats, and
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
he
he
had
had
whack
whack
beats.
beats, but I do think compared to his contemporaries, especially when
Right,
he went up against Jay, and Jay's one of the best like beat like a guy that go in and pick a beat
right,
for the right moments and
right,
crafting an album. Like he's like one of the best, probably
right.
the best. And the fact that of course they had their beef, so they always gonna get put. Oh, what's that face? What's that face?
Yeah, he's one of these best. He's one of the best. I'll say that. Like as far as like beat choice,
hmm
from what I'm thinking, Ross might have that.
Okay, yeah. That's a good
Ross
one.
is like
That's a good one. I was like, I didn't know where you was gonna go with that because
yeah.
I couldn't think of
No, no,
any.
no.
And I'm not
Don't
gonna
get me
say a
wrong.
producer like Kanye or Pharrell or nobody because they're the ones that making them. So of course
Right.
they have the ear. But like as far as a rapper that don't make beats and yeah, Ross is up there. Ross is
Yeah,
definitely up there.
Ross, yeah, I'm like, whew. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, Jay is there and I think when the comparison comes with Jay-Z and Nas, I think that here's two things.
hmm
Because I've always been Nas always been my favorite rapper. If Nas had someone in his corner like a Dame Dash or a
hmm
Diddy or someone like that, he would have went further or be larger.
hmm
And if he chose the beat that he know would work, not necessarily work for him. So
Okay.
so I think he chooses beats to kind of challenge himself
hmm
or just kind of works with what he's trying to do. Um versus like let me get with I don't know
Like
Pharrell.
Just Blaze
Right, yeah, exactly.
or like Timbaland or somebody.
Right, right, exactly. And so that's what I really think that is or was. Um it makes a difference.
Because I never felt like Nas had terrible beats. It's just I always loved the music he put together with those tracks. I would have and then I always said like maybe he just picked beats that worked for him
Right.
because I hear a lot of tracks like I couldn't hear because sometimes you can hear a track. I can hear a track Ross did and think if Ross didn't pick this beat and then gave it to Jay, it'll still be great. But there's a lot of
Mhm.
tracks where I feel like it's only Nas. Like only Nas could do one mic. Only
Right.
got Nas could do Major Look.
Mm.
Like I feel like
Right.
sometimes in those situations, like if he gave it to somebody else, it wouldn't have had the same impact.
Right. Right. I agree with that.
So like growing up, as a hip hop fan, going into doing like no fluff, like what would you say, would be like your dream interview? Like who would be somebody you would want like that if you could pick uh anybody to be on the show, like especially, you know, uh like let's say if you get 5 years down the line and the channel's grown and you're at like a position where you can have anybody, like who would you want to be that interview, that golden interview?
Um, it would be someone of that caliber, like a Nas or JayZ.
Hmm.
Maybe JayZ would be more. It would probably be better, honestly.
Ah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just because I feel like JayZ is so clever. He's thinking,
Hmm.
and I feel like he's more forward versus like a Nas
Hmm.
who who's more reserved and like he doesn't he doesn't elaborate a whole lot. I
Oh
just
yeah.
feel like I would get a lot more out of JayZ. Even if he's being sarcastic or whatever. Like he just was, I just feel like I would get more out of that man. But um yeah, so yeah, someone of that magnitude, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what would be like? I guess like what would be one question of the whole interview? Like what would be one question where it's like I have to ask him this question? If you could think of just like off the top of your head, what would be like the question you would definitely want to get out the answer out of JayZ?
Um I would ask this. If y'all are not Illuminati, why do y'all keep playing with these symbols? You know what I'm saying? Like that's people, oh they not gonna let us in the Illuminati, or they think I'm Illuminati because they don't think black people can be this smart. And it's like, but every time y'all do pictures or something, here you go, you doing something, man. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, if you're not connected with it somehow, stop doing the signs.
You don't think they're just like fucking with him at this point? It's just like, you know what? They saying it already about me. People put like 2,000 videos on YouTube explaining
Right.
why I'm Illuminati and finding the hidden meanings behind this, that, and that's like, why don't we just fuck with him a little bit? I don't know.
Possibly, but then it's like, but why keep doing it though? That's all I'm asking.
Yo, I promise you, if you look it up right now, there's probably 5 videos in the last couple of weeks that have been uploaded about this now. So I mean, it's still going. So maybe that's
Right.
why they keep going
But
because
you
it's just
see, the
still
thing
going.
is too, like I don't. I've seen some videos, but I don't even watch them in full because I'm like, all right,
I've seen
it's
something
too
that's like
much.
3 hours long. I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
and
know
it's
how
like
y'all got enough material
I
for this.
I'm like, yo, I ain't even watching this, but I will say, and I haven't, and honestly, it's been a long time since I even watched something like that on them or
Hmm.
different people. But I'll just say that every time it's always something, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so I don't believe that what I'll say is I don't believe that okay, if it's not true, then you'll keep playing with it.
Mm.
You're not gonna address it in a verse but still keep doing stuff in videos or in your pictures or whatever. This just not making sense to me. You know what I mean? It's like
I
after
can
a
see that.
while, after a while, if it looked like a duck, quack like a duck, and walk like a duck, maybe it
It
is.
might be a duck.
You might keep telling me that it ain't, but why you keep doing it? That's all I'm asking.
I don't know, man. You might not want to ask that one. You might come up missing. They go. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he knows too much."
Well, the thing is, like, I'm gonna try to ask, like, just I'm gonna just basically put it out, like, bro, why do you keep doing stuff like this? Okay, you're not no Mason, okay, but why do you put out a verse? You got to mention it somehow, or you twisting something some type of way, like, all right.
And not going back to that metaphor, he was like, if it looked like a duck and quack like a duck. There's a lot of dudes that make themselves out to be these gangster drug dealers, but it's all an act.
And guess what? At some point, it gets tested.
Yeah. You're
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you can talk all that gangster stuff and keep going to these cities performing. Somebody gonna come and test you,
Somebody gonna
see if
pull up.
you really about what you about, and then guess what? You gonna pass it. You either gonna pass the test or you're gonna fail.
Yeah, they better hope that they got security.
Right.
Like, hopefully you in the point of your career where you can afford security, because yeah, you don't
Right.
want to get tried at the wrong moment, man.
Right.
So,
That,
all right, so
no, go
just
ahead.
no. I was just gonna say, I guess one of the last things I want to ask you, because kind of like the show, I really enjoy the content you put out, and I really, for one, I like that you challenge kind of like the normal way of doing things. A lot of people are, very, like you said, well, like we talked about before, very sensitive,
Right.
very very prone to, just kind of fly off the handle the littlest thing.
Right.
And as you move forward with the show, and as the channel and the conversations, the interview segments, everything keeps growing. Like, I guess, what would be like the one thing you would want people to take away from No Fluff TV, from the conversations, and just from you in general, like the stuff that you put out in the world?
Um, one thing to take away. Um, mm, I don't know if there's one thing. I will. I will say that I'll I'll say this, that I know most of the people that are watching that do watch No Fluff TV in the videos, that I'm hoping that they would just do what I set out to do, which
Mm-hmm.
is be entertained and be informed. And so that means you can get entertainment from the content we put out. You get entertainment from the people I'm interviewing, whether it be some type of books, music, or whatever. And also get educated. And so, like, um, some of the things that we talk about, at least be willing to hear what other people' point of views are. So you're not stuck in just one, or maybe your circle and what they think. Hear other people's viewpoints. Also, just being able to support people who have some type of substance to them. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, that's one of the things. Like, I like, for the most part, everyone that I interview has some type of substance for
Mm-hmm.
the most part. And so, like, an artist like Vinnie-Dangerous needs to be supported because he's rapping, but he has something to say. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And so, I want people just to be able to learn about these people and then support them. You know what I'm saying? If that's what they're
Mm-hmm.
interested in. And so, I just want to, uh, make sure that I use what I have to help someone else to go further. Even somebody might do an interview and they get two more followers or two more
Mm-hmm.
listeners. or 2 more purchases of their books because they saw it on No Fluff TV. So I mean that that's my hope.
Well, man, I definitely appreciate the work you're doing, man. Like platforms like yours are very necessary
Right.
for not just, artists like myself, but just anybody that really wants to put something of substance out there, like you were saying. And you creating a platform, like I remember, trying to put together like press and stuff, like when I was
Mm-hmm.
dropping the album. And you
Mm-hmm.
were one of the few people that reached out to me, and you reached, like, you were so professional,
Mm-hmm.
and you were just like, yo, I just kind of want to do it for the love of this. Just make sure that you let people know that, No Fluff TV, dealing or just posting about it. Make sure you let people know the interviews coming and things like that.
Right.
And just the fact that you reached out to me and you were willing to sit down with me, and we had a great interview.
Yeah.
Just overall, just the way everything was put together, like I really appreciate
Yeah,
that
man.
you took the time to speak with me and speak with other artists and other people,
Right.
with platforms and things that they're trying to push out in the world like that. So,
Yeah.
man, any final words as we wrap this thing up? Just any final words you want to leave with the people?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you saying what I'm trying to do, man, and like I said, I just appreciate you allowing me to be on your platform. Um, as far as final words, yes, please subscribe and share, comment.
Yes.
Because the importance, man, this is really important. People like, yo, what can I do to help? Or, like, what do I need? Man, share, comment, and like it goes so much further than, sometimes money. Because
Hmm.
if people are liking your content, sharing your content, you just get, maybe you don't like it as much if you just share it. It's like a click of a button,
Hmm.
and that could help, your platform, my
Hmm.
platform, your album, whoever album, whatever. It just help it expand further because everyone don't know.
Hmm.
We're working. We in the mud right now, so like, just share, man, comment, like, it helps.
Yeah, and make sure y'all subscribe to No Fluff TV on YouTube. Make sure you follow them on all social medias at No Fluff TV.
Yeah,
Uh, I will definitely be continuing to support your channel. I try to
right,
catch up to. I'm catching up with as many interviews as I can right now.
right,
But like anytime they pop up, I make a mental note. Like I gotta watch it. So, and that helps with subscribing. Subscribe to the
yeah.
channel. Make sure you keep up
Hit
to
that
date
bell.
with. Yeah, hit the bell. You get the notification. You
Mm-hmm.
know whenever new videos drop. And once again, thank you, brother, for joining me on the show. Thank you, brother, for
Appreciate
the
it.
work that you're doing. But until next time, it's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous, Dangerous Minds. Much love.
All right.
She asked me my type and I told her black. Simple as that. I remember my pops used to tell me that she got nothing going for her, don't get too attached. Couple shots, I forget all that. Hit her phone like, what's up, girl, yo, where you at? And she already know what I'm on for with. And she like, boy, the fuck do you want?